Now we're going to use the distance formula to help us find an unknown. So number 3 says the distance between 3, -5 and 7, comma b, so we don't know that part of the coordinate, is 5 units. Find the values of b. So we're going to use the distance formula. D equals the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared to help us solve for b. So since the distance is 5, I'm going to plug that in for d. And let's see, I know that my x2 is 7, so I can plug that in. I know my x1 is 3. I know my y2, oh, I don't know my y2. That is b, so I'm going to plug a b in for y2. And I know my y1 is -5, so minus a -5. Okay, so let's do a little simplifying. So we have 5 equals the square root of 4 squared plus, this minus will become a plus, b plus 5 squared. And I know that 4 squared is 16, so we'll change that to a 16. All right, so now we need to solve for b. We need to isolate b. So the first thing I'm going to do is square both sides to get rid of that square root. So I have 25 equals 16 plus, scoot over a little bit, b plus 5 squared. And let's subtract 16. So now I have 9 equals b plus 5 squared. And now I want to get rid of the squared, so we need to square root both sides. And remember, when we're solving and we take a square root, we need to do plus or minus 3 equals b plus 5. So now we need to make 2 equations because we're going to get 2 different answers. So we have b plus 5 equals positive 3 and b plus 5 equals -3. So one of our answers for b is going to be -2. And the second answer for b is going to be -8. So the reason that there are 2 answers for these problems is because there are 2 points that can be 5 units away from the coordinate 3, -5. Let's kind of scroll over here so I can show you. So if we have the point 3, -5, the coordinate 7, -2, which is one of the answers that we got because we found that b could equal -2. So 7, -2, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we need one more tick mark. 7, -2 is 5 units away. This way with the hypotenuse. That looks way bigger than 5 units away, and that's because our original point was at 3, -5, not at -3, -5. So our point should have been right there. Oh, I can't erase. So this right here, that is 5 units. Scribble the other one out. There we go. Oh, bigger pen needed. There we go. Okay. And also the point 7, negative 8. Ooh, now the pen's too big. There we go. Is also the same distance away, but just in the other direction. So you see how this line and this line look to be the same distance? They're both 5 away from our original point. So that's why we get two different y values. Okay, so let's do the same type of problem again. This time we're solving for an a value, and I'll try not to make any mistakes this time. Okay, so find the distance between 1 comma a and 4 comma 2. So we're still going to use the distance formula. X2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So for the distance, we'll plug in 3. X2 is 4, and x1 is 1. And y2 is 2, and y1 is a. All right. So we have 3 equals the square root of 4 minus 1 is 3, and 3 squared is 9. And then we have 2 minus a. So to get rid of the square root, we'll square both sides. So we have 9 equals 9 plus 2 minus a squared. And we'll subtract 9 from both sides. So we get 0 equals 2 minus a squared. Now here we're lucky because when we take the square root of 0, we only get one answer. It's 0. And then I'm going to add the a to the other side. So a equals 2. So we only got one answer for this one, and our one answer is the coordinate 1 comma 2. So go ahead and try the next 2 problems on your own by stopping the video and then restarting it to check your answer. For this problem, we only got one answer. Again, b equals negative 9, so we were lucky that we did not have to find 2. This next slide is all about the midpoint formula. So the midpoint is the point on a line segment that is equidistant from the endpoints. So if I drew a picture of a line, here's an endpoint, here's an endpoint. The midpoint would be right in the middle. Finding the middle of something is the same as finding the average. So to find the middle of the x's, we are going to add the x's together and then divide by 2. To find the middle of the y's, we are also going to add the y's together and divide by 2. So if we wanted to find the midpoint, so the midpoint formula is x1 plus x2 divided by 2, comma, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. And it's in parentheses, so we know that it's a coordinate. That's our final answer. So if we're looking at the endpoints, -1, -2, and 3, -4, first we're going to take our x's, so -1 plus 3, add those together and divide by 2. And then we're going to take our y's, -2 plus -4, add those together and divide by 2. So -1 plus 3 is 2. We still need to divide it by 2. And -2 plus -4 is -6. And we need to divide that by 2. So our final answer for the midpoint is 1, -3. Let's do the same thing for 4, 3 and 2, 5. switch pen colors real quick. So again, we're going to take our x's, 4 plus 2, and divide that by 2. And then our y's, 3 plus 5, divide that by 2. So we have 6 divided by 2 and 8 divided by 2. So our final answer will be 3, 4. So try the next 2 problems on your own and pause the video and then restart it to check your answers. We should have gotten 1, 1 for the first answer, and for the second answer we should have gotten 0, -1/2. Sometimes you can get fractions for your answer, and that's okay.